Howdy there, chitlins. Dr. Groovy, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com here. Yeah, you read it right. Grabbed me another Peavey amplifier from back in the good old days just because it was such a good deal. And these are hard to come by. They were only made for 1 year. Part of 88 and then part of 89. So kind of a half and half thing. And then again, you know, the old Peavey amps, you know, not old, but, you know, around that time, they were everywhere for a reason. They were just good, just loud as all get out amplifiers that took pedals really well. So you could crank these suckers like, you know, like a Fender Twin would, but without any noise. And they were musical. Then they started changing things, trying to go to the trans tube way, and, you know, did the Peavey thing. But this is when there was not a stage anywhere that just didn't have loads of Peavey gear all over it. This was the special 112 Wedge. Okay, and I've beefed it up to make it the groovy style. Okay, and I'll go through this with you in just a sec. I'm using the whatever this is. It's a PE series Aria Pro, stock with the 390s, P90s here. And then I love when you look these up and people are like, well, it's got this knob you pull out here and it makes it, I don't know, louder, bassier, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's just like a regular 2 pickup guitar with the 3-way switch. Then you just turn on and off the middle pickup by pulling out the knob. So that's how difficult that is. So groovy old axe. Again, 3 P90s. It's like there's no middle pickup as far as switching. Then turn on the middle one, pull out a knob, pull out the tone knob. You can get all 3 on that way, of course, and blah blah blah. So groovy little axe. Now let me take you for a real quick hand tour. If I can get my... yeah, I'm going to do my shaky stuff. Okay, so these old amps. Yeah, the Groovy emblem. Okay, I've got another one of these somewhere. I had somebody make these out of steel. Then I decided I was going to put them on here, and I might still, you know, get me some more. Put them on these Johnson stacks so they look groovy from out there. I painted this over everywhere, and this had black corners and everywhere on it, you know, and I just painted everything, of course. It's what I do. Even the dirty Peavey emblem came back to life with good old paint. Now, these amps, dual channel amp, two button foot switch. I'm going to the high gain because I'm using low output pickups. There's my clean channel. Okay, here's how I've got it EQ'd. Of course, presence is just your highs are up there around 2.5K. Then your presence is going to be up around 6.3 or 8K. Now here's your this is all there is as far as the other channel, whether you want it to be a blues sounding thing or a full-blown distorted thing. A very active sounding bottom and edge. Lows and highs, and adds a little bit of mids with it. It's not a big scoopy thing, but the saturation, super sat on here. Your effects loop, master reverb, and I missed these on amps where you could actually change the ground back and forth to shut it up when it's going. Okay, the speaker in this thing is actually a Scorpion Plus. Okay, there were originally the Black Widows, then the Scorpions, then the Sheffields, which were a kind of Celestion clone, British sound, and then they went to the Scorpion Plus, where they tried to get more of an American sound, but have the speaker break up quicker. Okay, these amps at 8 ohms are 100 watts RMS. It's got the 8 ohm speaker stock in it, and it'll do 160 watts RMS at 4 ohms. Okay, let me see if I can even get you. It's really, really dark back there. But I bet you, hang on 2 seconds, that I could probably... that's what we love about real reverb. Accutronics reverb. And there's the upside down of the word plus. Okay, it actually goes into this EDI section here in a little bit. But yeah, the Accutronics reverb. And this thing weighs close to about 60 pounds. Okay, here's the interesting part about this, other than everything being interesting about it. Again, it's the special 112 Wedge. That's the part that makes it the only 1 year they made it. Okay, the EDI. So it actually comes out of the power amp in through here, that it does like a power soak thing. It eliminates everything as far as the power goes, and then your XLR can go to your mixer instead of a mic if you want it to. Of course you mainly wouldn't want it to, but you might find some interesting recording stuff. But it gives you a different sound than your line out because it's giving you exactly what's going to your speaker. Okay, so it comes out of the power amp out, goes through this whole thing, sucks all the power out of it, and then gives it back to you. But coming out of this jack straight to your mixer will give you the actual sound of the actual amp. Unlike a preamp, it's, you know, actually taking the power into consideration. Okay, even though we all know Meridian, Mississippi, USA, blah blah blah, you open the inside of this amp up, and all the stock stuff, as anybody who has opened one up, everything inside says Mexico. You know, every part on the boards. And hey, don't forget, on the just what, 6 months ago, this is 2016, February of 2016, 6 months ago at the NAMM show in Vegas, Nashville, Tone King, he was talking to Hartley Peavey there, and Hartley was like, yeah, we're never going to ever do a reissue of anything because we always go forward, we never go backward. You know, thought it might be kind of cool to do the T60s and T40s and all that cool old stuff again. But now, hey, what do you know? Just now they re-released the Peavey Cirrus bass, which they had discontinued. Now, hey, they brought it back. 6 months later, he's lying. Okay, so anyway, so this is what it is. Now, the deal is, and the reason is that I got this, and it's in the monitor wedge cabinet, that's how they made them, again, for only 1 year, is because of that thing, which you can't hardly see. Pedal steel players ended up loving these things, and they didn't take up a huge footprint on the stage. Okay, most of them ended up pulling that speaker out, and they would put a Black Widow in, since it wasn't meant to break up, and then they would put a 4-ohm Black Widow in there that had special specs that, you know, were really had extra bottom end for steel guitar players, blah 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 blah, because normally steel players will use a 15 unless they're using a web amp or something like that. And then again, if you get really super nice speakers like a EVM12L or something in there, it will always make a horrible amp sound worse because it will give you a great speaker that will amplify the flaws in the amp. But when you put a great clean speaker, I've got the EVM12L down here and this Fender Concert here, and it sounds great through here. You can't get it distorted. But here on the clean sound, turned up to about 7, blows your face off, but it will break up very nicely, just like, you know, a Groovy tube amp would. But it's just a great sounding amp, and it's for the steel guitar that I wanted it for, so I got it, $99. Okay? Then I just groovified it. It needed it. It was ugly. Had some, 15, 20, 30, 40 years of cigarette smoke and other weird junk on there. As you saw at the beginning, what all the original pictures look like. Okay, where the heck's my amp? There it is. Okay, so not that you need to see the amp, but here's the amp. And here's the axe. Okay, I'm going to turn on all 3 pickups on the clean channel. Okay, go back to the, like a 2 position on the strap. really clean. Get rid of the reverb altogether. Go to the Strat sound. Okay, now if I was to actually go in here and just kill people one time, melt their faces, I'm going to turn this up to about 7 on the clean channel. Give you just a couple of hits, otherwise the cops will shut. Okay, there it is up on 7 with P90s humming away. But so there's what you get. I don't know if it distorted the speak or monitor you're listening to it on, but ow, that hurts. If we go to the other channel. Let you hear the saturation being turned up, which is, it's supposed to be like a tube emulated, you know, saturating the tubes, adding compression at the same time. Okay, the volume, the post, was on 2. This thing's shredding my head. But down low, and I'm just going to go to the neck P90. And I'm going to bring the volume down on the guitar. Saturation or the pre on 2 and the volume on 2. So that's just your what you would turn it on for, just a crunch. Here's the EQ on that lead side. There's the bottom being taken out. So it adds it's very, very functional. To the edge. Both of them are very, very flippin' active. Here comes the over here on this other channel. Let me see if I can just get you in here. I know I haven't been doing much of a job, but hey, I can't say it's hard to play with yourself, but it's here on the clean side, I've got the level at 2. Here's a bright switch. Without it. Bright switch again. I'll take it back out, and here's your lows. Mids. So there's four band EQ here. See, the highs are not that typical solid state high-end bullcrap that sounds like a bunch of bees. The Solo series, these, were just great sounding all-purpose amps, and everybody was just starting to use all the rack stuff. Okay, so whether it be rack or whether it be pedal stuff or just the amp by itself, everybody was using something from the Solo series, because even though there's no other effects in here other than just reverb, you know, and a 2-channel foot switch, it was quite enough for a lot of people. So here's the highs again, from 0 to 10. Now I'm going to go to the presence. Again, it's like around 6.3K. Now the reverb, you could surf your butt off with that thing, man. Just yeah, Nazareth the surf. And now you're messing with the little dude's coop. Okay, but anyway, so there it is. I mean, it's a really cool amp, and again, the cool thing about it was supposed to be for just people to have down on the front, pointing back up at you, and that is a great thing for multi-effects, pointing back up at your head, and a monitor wedge. And of course, people back then, they wanted big, huge stacks, and they didn't want to do something that was actually groovy. And this thing just blowing back in my face is just cool. You know, no chairs to tilt your stuff back in. No, I've seen people actually with these amplifiers put them on an amp stand, and so it would make it like straight, like a regular amp. It's like, you moron. But then, of course, the steel players just loved them because of that. They're sitting down, and this points right up at their head. And again, they don't have a big 15-inch speaker just blasting their ankles away. Same with guitar players. I love the monitor designs. That's why I have, even for people who haven't seen this before, but my little Hartkey bass amp down there, it's a kickback. One of, you know, just the smaller amps that I use. Of course, I got all the big junk, but I like the tilt back stuff. If everybody had one, it'd be a beautiful thing. No levels as far as the send and returns go, so there's no levels there. It's just a effects loop, okay? But it sounds great and it's quiet, you know. I just wanted to use a guitar that wasn't quiet. Just because I don't get to play this one very often, or I just don't choose to play this one very often. And it's a great guitar. Anyway, so yeah, a little bit of spray paint and imagination and cleaning it up. Yeah, again, y'all saw the dirty pictures, and I'll put the dirty pictures up of this amp. Not one that looks like it, but this one where I bought it off of eBay, again, for $99, or best offer. And again, if you want to look it up, it's the Solo series, the Peavey Special 112. Wedge, W-E-D-G-E, and you can go on the Google search and do an image search, and it'll show you where to buy them, or you can just get them on YouTube, eBay, and you can probably find them fairly easy. I know some go through reverb.com every now and then, but they're always about that price, between 100 and 150 bucks. And then again, like I said, if you just want to change the voicing of the entire amp to go for a steel player, then probably want to go with one of the extended range Black Widows, or an old nice JBL from the J series. Of course, they don't make guitar speakers anymore, instrument speakers. But again, these are pretty flippin' heavy. The speaker's heavy too, so if you go to add a EVM L12 or anything, you're gonna break your back, but it's still okay. Hopefully you only have to just move it to a house gig and you're good to go. But they thought of a lot on here. It's a neat deal for a little old package, again, before anything got too wacky. So just something to consider. Again, to keep your stage volume down. Don't forget that, let me just do this and I'll say bye. You're like, sure you will. Anyway, underneath here I've got ears, and if that amp's behind me, my ears are actually pointing towards you guys because I got this Ross Perot thing. If you guys don't know who that is, that's the basically the Donald Trump of 16 years ago, a billionaire that ran for president. Anyway, yeah, your ears go this way, so the sound is being blocked from behind you. But if it's in front of you, your ears are like funnels, and the sound comes right on in. So it makes sense to have the amp on the ground pointed straight up at you, just like a monitor. That's why you don't put monitors behind you at floor level. Makes sense? Anything you want to hear should be on the ground, pointed up at you, if it's not in your ear monitors or whatever. So your guitar should be the same way, your bass amp should be the same way. Everything should be like that. So anyway, once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com. Again with the 1988/89 Peavey Special 112 Wedge. And then they made, of course, so many other amps. Everybody has to get a Bandit from back then. Okay, the solo series were all the amps that everybody used before they started making a zillion different things. But these are the amps that they just have a little something about them before they tried to start emulating tube amps and stuff. These just have a sound of their own, and it's all extremely usable, extremely easy, and it's just a plug in and go thing. And it was the sound of a generation, and it wasn't a bad sound. So you guys be groovy. I'll catch you whenever I decide to get out of bed again, going in for another head operation, or I'll just leave that one alone, and I'll talk to you about it later if I live. Okay, bye.